introduce you to our latest product, SWOOP Analytics for M365. With me is SWOOP Analytics CEO Kjaer and SWOOP's Chief Scientist, Dr. Laurence, who will give you an introduction to SWOOP for M365. So let's get straight to it. Kjaer and Laurie, I'm interested to know the what, the why, and the how of SWOOP for M365. Laurie, can you start by telling us what SWOOP for M365 is and why do I need it?
Okay, thanks, Sharon. Well, what is SWOOP for M365? Well, it's a new product. It's a product that we developed in response to some feedback we had from our clients. They would say that, you really go deep into Yammer and Teams and so forth, but we've got to worry about these other channels like email and the chat and meetings and so forth. We don't need to know it all. So we sat back and we thought, well, I think we can do that. We do have access to admin reports and I think we can give it a bit of a SWOOP flavor as well. And so we settled on digital habits because we recognised that people were saying, oh, we have our people live in email too much. They're doing too much chatting, too much time in meetings and so forth. So we formed this product around their digital habits more so than the typical analytics around activity counts and so forth. So that's what the product looks like. It's centered on how you can improve your digital working habits, and so why do organizations need it? Well, of course, we'd already heard that they needed it because that's what generated the product. But in essence, organizations now are spoilt for choice, and if you've got 5 or 6 different ways of connecting with somebody else in your organization and you're all left to your own devices to decide, which tool you're going to use, in a collaboration sense, it's a little bit like a soccer team where the members get to choose what colour jerseys they want to wear. It's be disastrous when they're trying to collaborate that way. And that's typically what environments are looking like now. And so, really the investment in M365 is actually at risk if they're not really coordinating the way they actually communicate with each other and collaborate with each other and using the right tool when. So that's really why they need it. And certainly that's what we've heard and that's what we responded to.
Great information, Laurie. Kjaer, how is M365 going to help my business? And can you show me what it looks like?
Well, the thing is that many organizations we hear are running these change adoption programs. They're trying to help people understand what good collaboration practices look like. But how on earth are you going to improve if you've got no idea what you're really doing today? And the gap that we're filling is that normal people and even adoption and change teams cannot get to this data about what tools people are using and what their digital habits are. So that's what we want to change. And so we really want to fast track the ability for people to get access to data so they can change their behaviors accordingly. So should we see what it looks like?
Love to see it.
So this is what SWOOP for M365 looks like. And you'll see that we have 3 different dashboards over here on the left. And this really ties into SWOOP's mission about transforming how people collaborate. There's data here for myself. I can see how I collaborate. There's data aggregated by segment level or all the way up to enterprise. And as Laurie was saying, they were very much focused on the habits, on the digital collaboration habits. So you can see my habits over here. We have 7 of them. First, I can see there's a score for being email liberated, for being an asynchronous collaborator, for being chat liberated, file sharer, community contributor, screen sharer, and also being camera confident. And all those are actually independently benchmarked against a large sample size that we have. So we've quite unique in that we've been able to establish what good looks like. And I guess the overall score is then aggregated. So overall, across all my habits, I score 81. If we look at the one just today for email liberated, that's actually particularly important because we've seen from the benchmarking we're doing that a lot of people are still trapped in email. And I think, as we all know, using email as your core collaboration platform is really not very efficient. And that's why what we're doing with email liberated, we're basically showing how much you're using Yammer, is how much you're sending emails with how much you are posting in Teams, channels, and Yammer, which are better tools for collaborating at scale. So you avoid these, all company emails and replies and silo communication in email. And when I click on View Insights, I actually get 3 different things. First of all, I can see my ratio of how many emails that I've sent compared to how often I'm in Teams channels. And you can see that I still send 4 emails. Like it's a 4 to 1 ratio of me using email compared to Teams and Yammer. And I'll show you what this company looks like as a whole. And you can see it's not nearly as good at what this person is doing. So this is really good. We also show you actually that what good is, and we give you tips on how to improve as well. So you get this for all the 7 collaboration habits. If we look at, for instance, at the enterprise level, as I said, this organization, the person is really good, but this organization as a whole is scoring way lower. And if I click on the insights here, you can actually see now that we're up at the company as a whole is sending 105 emails for every one thing they post in a channel or on Yammer. So you can see how lopsided it is as a company. So we really want, through this data, we want to nudge people into much better use and balance in how they're using the M365 collaboration products. Not just with the habits, of course, but for the first time, it's actually possible for non-M365 admins to get their hands on the actual underlying data. So on the usage analytics, we're showcasing how many emails, so how many chat messages, or how many, whatever the relevant tool we're looking at, how many of these different things that people have done. So this is really, really powerful in the hands of change adoption teams, those that are involved with strategy setting and finding out how should we really be using M365? Because from what we can see, the data is telling us there's a lot of people that we need to help them change their habits so they may have a much better balance in the way using M365.
Kai, this is great. Can you just now explain to me where these analytics fit in out of the box analytics and also with Viva Insights?
It's a really good question, because there are some really powerful insights you can get out of the Microsoft Productivity Score. Those of you that are using Viva Insights, it's filled up, pops up with little ideas about things you can do better. So it's a good question. What's the difference? What SWOOP for M365 is doing, which really nicely complements Viva Insights, is that we have a strong focus on how you're using the tools, the balance in which you're using the tools. So we know a lot of organizations are struggling with hybrid work, return to work, how we're going to help people work in a digital world and adopting sort of having digital dexterity, I've heard someone call it. Yeah. So it's all about using the right tools at the right time for the right purpose. And we augment and complement Viva Insights, which is probably more focused on how you spent your time, with who you spent your time, and helping you understand also what tool can you be using, so people aren't get trapped in email, get trapped in back-to-back meetings, and get trapped and annoyed or disrupted by chat messages all the time. Just imagine if we kind of at scale could help people transform these practices. That's what we're trying to do.
Well, we would love for you to try SWOOP Analytics for M365 using your own data so you can see what's actually happening in your organization. It's free to trial, so please contact us at swoopanalytics.com.